Welcome to the Bird Gang Nation Sports Media Show, repping the greatest team of all time. Let's go! Bird Gang 31, he be the host with the most. We going deep, burning teams. They ain't nothing but toast. It's in your rest there. Sirianni put me in coach, running like Miles Sanders till I bump my head on the post. Touchdown! Yeah, that's coming. Devontae's crazy route running. Jalen hurting them, throwing lasers to Rager, young gunning. Come on! On the D side, we ride, sack him with Fletcher, lay him out on the stretcher. No one can protect you. Watch Darius slay him, shutting down your routes. Come on! In my green John, eating Philly cheesesteaks. Put up your cups, wings up, if you can relate. Tailgating at the link like Gangsta Stride. To the Bird Gang Nation, that's worldwide. On Sundays, catch the pre and post game. Mondays is Birds on Broad Street with Philly Notion and Cool Cat, the man in motion. And Wednesdays, the midweek special got you open with JC from Eagles Talk, hitting like B-Dog, baby.
Welcome to another edition of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, Nation, we have another very special guest in the house. We got Raichele from BGN Radio. How you doing today, Raichele?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, It's always good talking to them birds, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you give everybody a little background from where you're from and what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Raichele Privette. I am from Annapolis, Maryland. I currently live in Maryland, Annapolis, Maryland, and I'm currently the audio producer and host for BGN Radio. We have 9 shows on the feed. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with Bleeding Green Nation. We cover the Eagles, and I have a show called Above the Nest with Raichele, and I also have a show with my co-host Mark Schofield, and it's called the QB Factory Reboot, where we talk about what's going on specifically with Jalen Hurts, with the upcoming team's opponent, their quarterback. We talk about what we saw in the previous game. So yeah, doing some big things at BGN Radio.
Doing some big things, exactly, man. I remember I watched your interview with Jalen Hurts, man. How was it talking with Jalen? What kind of quarterback you think he is? Are you on the board of Jalen, where you think he can be that elite quarterback? Or, are you like the rest of everybody still waiting, trying to find out?
I've been Team Hurts since the beginning. I feel like I've been very vocal about how I didn't like how, he was kind of thrown into the situation from the beginning. It was kind of unfair. So I'm kind of just waiting for him to, really, really prove himself, trying to be patient with him. The interview with him was like super, super dope. One thing that I, respect about him is just the person he is. You can tell he's a leader. You can tell that he's like a humble player. And at the end of the day, like his priority is to make himself better each and every day. And he knows that he's responsible for the team as well. So trying to make sure that he's putting his best foot forward so he can lead for, the remainder of the Eagles roster. The interview with him was like super, super cool. He's really, really chill. It felt like I was talking to like a friend. Like it went really, really well. But he's a cool person. I'm Team Hurts, so I'm rooting on him. He hasn't been looking the best these last few weeks, right? We want to see him doing better. We want to see him being more consistent. We want to see him doing better when it comes to accuracy, right? But I feel like it also takes time, and I'm not ready to bench him yet. I'm still trying to be patient and wait, hopefully expecting that the coaching staff will work on developing him, because I feel like it's too soon to bench him, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then the play calling, what I'm saying? Like that's not helping them at all either. You know what I'm saying? We can't run the same four plays out of the same formation over and over again and think we're gonna win some ball games. Like you got to help Jalen. I feel like they're trying to make him a pure passing quarterback. And that's not his skills. His skills is a dual threat quarterback, meaning he can pass, but he also can run, and you got to use both of those. Talents when it comes to Jalen Hurts. You can't just worry about the pass. If you see him struggling in the pass game, you got to do some other plays, some run plays to help, loosen him up and get him in the floor of the game, to help out his talents there.
I agree. And at the end of the day, um, they need to run the ball. That's all we've been talking about. That's a broken record at this point because we know that he's tired. They're leaning on him for the entire offense, and it's like he can't do it all on his own. So yes, we know that his legs are a strength of his, but I feel like give him a break, and maybe we'll see him a little bit more productive, right? If he's not as rattled, if he's not as, burnt out because he's doing it all. Like that has to be overwhelming. That has to be stressful. So
yeah. So how do you see the overall team? Like, what's your impressions of the team so far this year?
I mean, this is definitely a struggling season. I think this is a rebuilding season. I think we have good players, but I don't feel like our team is complete. There's definitely areas of the roster that lack. We all know about, the linebackers, for example. That's the area that's been, struggling. We know that we have talented young weapons like Devontae Smith. We have Quez Watkins, but we're not really using them to their strengths. Like we're not using them enough. We have Miles Sanders, and we know what he can do when, he gets those carries, but we're not using him. So it's kind of like we have areas, bits and pieces, but I feel like this is not I don't think this is a Super Bowl contending team. I think we kind of all know that. There's definitely areas that need to be improved, targeted during the off season, but I think we knew that this was going to be a rebuilding year. So like I said, I don't think it's a complete team. I think we have players here and there that are strong and can be developed or, are just strong players, but this is not a complete team. So, and at the end of the day, football is a team sport. So it's kind of like if everybody's not like doing their best and giving 100%, we can't really expect for them to do but so much, especially under the coaching staff and the, leadership that they have.
Yes, I fully agree there. You know what I'm saying? But, we lost a very big piece to the Super Bowl team there in Zach Ertz. How do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? And what's some of your best memories of Zach?
I mean, we all know we all know Zach Ertz being the Super Bowl hero. Like that's what we know him as. We know that he was loyal to the city. We know that he loved the fans. We know that he wanted to be here. So that's one thing that I respect about him. I think it's interesting now that he's gone. Kudos to him. He's going to be with the Cardinals. Hopefully they'll be able to utilize him a little bit more. But it's cool that we're going to get to see Dallas Goedert get more of a shot. I think that's exciting for him. So even though we didn't want to see Zach Ertz go, like he was a productive player, like we saw him contribute, a lot in the time that he was here, it is cool to see a younger player get the chance to kind of like step up into that tight end one, position. So
Do you
it's
like
kind of
Dallas?
like I think he has a lot of potential. I think that he can be the it guy, but we need to see more of him.
Yeah, and then we also got Tyree Jackson practicing again.
Yes.
He had an electrifying off season. When they showed all them clips of him catching, touchdowns and all these pass routes that he was going on. He's 6'8", 245 or 50 pounds, something like that. Run a 4.340. I'm excited to see what he can do in the field as well once he gets back. So like I tell all the Eagles fans, we are still not out of it yet, though. You know what I'm saying? We might not be that Super Bowl team, but I still see it as being possibly a playoff team. We got a very easy schedule. We went through a hard part of our schedule. Those first
Yes.
6 games. Look at the teams we lost to, and even played. We had the champions, Tampa Bay. We had Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? The 49ers, Dallas, who's been on a roll. You know what I'm saying? So we play some really good teams, but now our schedule kind of eases out. You know what I'm saying? We got the Giants twice. We got the Jets. We got, Washington twice. So, I think it's time for the Eagles to make that push, and it starts out with the run game. Do you think we can win enough of these games, to get us up there, where we can at least be like talking, consider, division champions with Dallas Cowboys?
I think that's tough. especially how the Cowboys have started. Like they're so far ahead, it's kind of scary. Like, I don't know if we're going to catch up to them. I think, like you said, you hit the nail right on the head. Like the last stretch from the Giants, the last Cowboy game, I am a little worried about. But like the Giants, the Jets, the Washington football team, the Giants, Washington, those games I feel like should be easy wins. I'm a little worried about the Chargers game because I feel like they're still a decent team. But I think they'll be able to, hold their own against the Raiders, the Lions, the Saints for sure, because they did not give up in the game like the Tampa Bay game, right? They didn't start off strong, but it wasn't a blowout, which is better than nothing. So
Yeah.
if they were able to hold on and only lose by 6, it's still a loss. No more victories, I understand, but it was only by 6, and that's the defending Super Bowl champions. They might be able to put up a fight against some of these teams that they're preparing to play against. So I think they're gonna get some wins. At least I'm gonna say at least like 5 or 6 more wins looking at the remaining schedule.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like it. I'm more an optimistic guy. I'm saying
Yeah,
a
me too.
minimum. And with the teams that we play, we shouldn't lose more than 3 of those games. And now we might have to be looking for a new coach. You know what I'm saying? How do you take Nick Sirianni, and do you think he's a long-term solution?
I'll say the thing that I appreciate about him is it seems like he is like a team coach. Like it seems like he's like that coach that wants the best for his team, but something's not making sense because he's did a lot of talking. We were all excited, seeing what he's going to do coming into the season, and it just to me does not seem like he's really backing up some of the stuff that he preached. So that's
I
where
always say we
it's
got
confusing.
catfished. We got
Yeah.
catfished. Nick Sirianni.
So it's confusing because it's like, okay, you made it sound good, but now we're not really executing some of the stuff that you said. If like one thing he talked about in the press conference today is how with this 10-day break that we got, it was cool on Sunday how he got to watch some of the games, right? And I'm like, okay, awesome. Hopefully you took away some things from some of those other teams that you watched that maybe did well. For example, like running the ball. If that,
Yeah.
that's what everybody has been calling, why haven't you made the fix yet? That's where it gets frustrating. It's kind of like you're saying you want the best for the team. You're saying, this is the type of coach you are and you want to win, but you're not making the small, slight changes that are obvious that everybody's calling for. So it gets kind of frustrating with that. It's kind of like, is it him or is it like the higher ups? Is it the Howie Roseman, the Jeffrey Lurie, which you always hear about the foolishness in the organization? So I want to be team Nick Sirianni, but he's not really backing up what he's been saying. Like he hasn't, I don't think he's really proved himself yet, especially as a rookie, first time, head coach.
Yeah, I take this 10 days, man. If you don't realize what you're missing, what I'm saying? I look at the run game. It's not just something that we want. It's something that's going to help your offense that you are trying to display. You can't keep having all these play action passes and not run the ball. You're not doing what you need to do for the whole play to work. You know what I'm saying? Play action is set up for the linebackers to get sucked in, the safeties to get sucked in, bigger windows for the receivers. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line can get into rhythm. And without that run game, none of this stuff will even happen. So it's like, why do you keep calling it? Like for me, like I feel like we've been bamboozled. I feel like he needs to go back to the drawing board and not be so concrete, set in his ways. You know what I'm saying? Realize you are a rookie coach. This is the NFL now, and you're going to have to make some adjustments to this team. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, like you said, I don't even see us win 3 more games if he continues the way he's going. Our defense has gotten better over the last couple of weeks. He came down on what's his name, JG, saying that our defense needs to change, and that seems to work out. But who's coming down on you? You know what I'm saying? If you had a telephone call with Nick Sirianni right now, what would you tell him?
I would say we need you to run the ball. I would say, can you get a little bit more creative? Because a lot of the offense is very predictable. So, and you hear that a lot, like, oh, it's vanilla. So it's kind of like, all right, get creative. We want to see something a little bit different, confuse them a little bit, but everybody knows what you're going to do. So how do you expect to win with that?
Right. My buddy Grant Kazir, what's up? Shout out to you. Grant Kazir said, how long do you think this Eagles rebuild process will take?
Like giving a time, like a set.
Like years you think it? Do they, we can
Ooh,
get it? Next year with 3 first-round draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We could be back in the swing of things next year because our team is that close. Or do you think this is
Mhm.
going to be a process? That extends a little longer.
I think a year is realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are talented weapons on the team. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be a complete like wipe because I don't think they should get rid of like the Devontae Smiths. I don't think they need to get rid of the Quez Watkins. Like there are players on the team, and like you said, with these 3 first round picks and what other picks we have coming up, hopefully potentially, if they can use that and really like listen and really pay attention to like what the weaknesses are. It might not be hopefully I want them to keep Jalen Hurts like building around him. They
Mm-hmm.
might be in a good position, but there's certain areas that need to be corrected. So I don't think it's a complete wipe. Like I don't think it's going to be like a 3 to 5 year process. I don't hope so. Maybe if they're smart with their picks this year, they could, turn things around.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the Eagles should be sellers or buyers? Now that this trade deadline is coming up, do you think we need to get rid of some more of these high-priced veterans that we do have on our team, or do you think we should just keep the team that we are, maybe add a piece? Because I really want them to go out and get a linebacker. I don't care if we get
Yes, yes.
two first-round picks to go get a linebacker. You're doing a stud linebacker off one of these
Yeah.
teams. I think with JG's defense, that is the one piece that we are missing to make it work. You got a nice defense here. We used to suck at the run game and suck at the pass game and be really good at the run game. But now our passing defense has gotten a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But our run defense has gotten horrible.
Mhm.
Just for the simple fact that I don't even think it's the scheme. I think it's the players.
Yeah.
Our linebackers are all backups. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really high on Wilson. I was really
Mhm.
high on Singleton coming into the year. I was praying that they were going to be the answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after watching 6 games, I'm saying that these guys are not it. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
not it. We need someone that's big, physical, that's going to meet these running backs in the hole. Behind the line of scrimmage. Make their presence felt against these
Mhm.
guys. So I really think we definitely need to go out there and trade. But what do you think we need to do if we can? If you can be the GM right now, what would you do right now?
Uh, I think this is a consensus from what I've been witnessing and reading. Derek Barnett got to go. We already know that. I think everybody knows that. Like we're all on the same page. But I did have the linebackers down as like my weakness group for
Mm-hmm.
sure because it just seems like they don't really know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, a lot of them are veteran players. So you would expect like, okay, this is your job. You should do it well, but you don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's like you said, where they use some of these picks with young, talented, like hungry. We need like dominant players when it comes to the linebackers. So I think a couple of them can go. So that hopefully will clear up some space alone within the linebackers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's be good. We got another question. He said, "Which 3 rookies have impressed you the most so far this season?"
Kenny G is my man's. He needs to see more. Like we want more from him, but I like him. Devontae Smith is definitely we want to see more from him. Like we know his potential. We know what he can do, but I feel like he's not at his max yet because he's not getting enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting enough targets. So those two for sure. I'm trying to think of who else we've seen. We haven't seen Zach McPherson for real. We haven't really seen too much of what was his name, Marlon Tuipulotu. I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
ain't
we've
seen
seen
Marlon
him.
at all. And that's my boy.
Landon
I'm gonna be real
Dickerson got
with you.
some
I'm like
time. I
hoping
don't.
to see him get the field on the field. He has not been on the field at all.
Yeah,
Basically the rookies. We got Milton Williams. Like you said, the Slim Reaper.
Landon Dickerson.
Dickerson, yeah. How do
Okay.
you like Dickerson? Dickerson, I think he's just like any other rookie on our team. He's taking it game by game. He's getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So I like what Dickerson's doing out there. I just think he's going like we need to run the ball. That's what he is. He's a road grader.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can't have like my biggest thing with the offensive line, you can't have all these big grown, 350-pound men backpedaling the whole game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's just not what they do. Like a
Mhm.
lineman like to be physical, go hit somebody. You
Yeah.
got these guys backpedaling. That's why we got so many injuries on our line in the first place, is because you got these guys backpedaling. So I think that's another reason why we got to get this run game started, is to get these guys more in an environment they're used to, where they get their, impose their will out on the defensive line, and control the tempo of the game. So Yeah, like those are three really big ones. I think like Landon for me would be Landon, Devontae Smith and Kenny Gainwell. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, our young guy McPherson hasn't really seen too much.
Mm-mm.
But he hasn't seen too much of the game.
And I
But
was excited for him preseason. Well, not preseason, like more so like training camp. I was excited for him, but we
mm,
haven't really seen too much. So I don't know.
yeah, hopefully we get to see a little bit more of him.
I hope so.
But I'm excited to see him. And then we got from the trade from Zach Ertz, we got that
Yeah,
cornerback
Gowan.
Gowan, Tay Gowan.
I'm
From
not
the highlights,
too
what I see.
familiar with him. I'm not too familiar with him. So
From the highlights, it looks like he's a stud. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, hopefully he can come in here and, revamp this offense. Even though our cornerback, I was really down on Steven Nelson, but he's
Mm-hmm.
actually played pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely changed my outlook on him because when we got him, picked him up in free agency, I was more like, send the house for Howard, get Howard over here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Right now, put him with Slade, that'd be awesome. Or even like a
Mm-hmm.
guy like Gilmore, one of those type caliber cornerbacks. But getting Steven Nelson has been, the whole training camp. He was getting burned by everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Steven Nelson was getting beat by this person, that person, this person, our team, the other team. Like, come on now, that was a bad pickup. But during the season, it looks like he's definitely stepped it up and he's been making some plays out there. So I'll take some of that back. So I take
Yeah.
some
They've
back.
had flashes. We
Yeah.
still want to see more. Darius Slay too. Like it was cool when he came out after all of the talk, about how he wasn't performing, like right after he had his son, and he had like a really nice game. But it's kind of like, all right, we want more of that. So
And with that, I think that was kind of the same time we kind of start changing our defense around,
mm-hmm.
because now we're actually doing some more man, playing some cover one,
Mm-hmm.
playing mixing up the coverages to the point where you're letting Slay and these guys play against the top receivers as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just sticking in that zone where you're, 7 feet back, what I'm saying, like 10 yards off the ball,
Mm-hmm.
watching all the receivers do whatever they want to do. It seemed like that's what they were doing the first couple
Yeah.
of weeks, you know. So it's like I think that kind of helped him out because that's what Slay is. He's big play Slay. He got an ego too. He wants to line up against the best.
Yes.
I'd rather him line up against the best, and if he gets burned, at least we can go after Slay. Like, hey, Slay,
Yes.
you didn't do your job. Instead of being like, oh, where our zone defense kind of, he wasn't even on him at that time. Then you're like wondering why weren't you on him? Because you're the best cornerback on the team. You guys all get paid top money. You need to be
Yeah.
out there what you get paid for. So yeah, man. He said here we got a question. I see the fans bring up the possibility of Miles Sanders trade rumors. What have you heard of any Miles Sanders trade rumors? And would you like to see Miles stay or go?
I want to see him stay because I want to see more of him. Like I think he is a really talented player. So I'm not ready for him to go yet. I have seen a few. I didn't really look into them like too deeply, but I have seen like a few articles, while I'm scrolling through Twitter talking about trading him because we're not utilizing him like he should be.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe if they turn things around and they start, letting him get, carries, minimum like 15 to 20, we want to see it
Yes,
happen.
that's
Then
what I say. 15 to
no,
20 touches a game is a
yeah,
minimum for Miles Sanders, a caliber back like him, man. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, I hope next
And
year.
he has to be frustrated. Like I could only imagine like what he's going through because he knows like he can produce, and they know he can produce.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be
Did
a
you see that
frustration
Kansas City game when he threw spiked the ball down
I
and
did.
run Nick
I did.
Sirianni? Like, hey, this is what
Yeah.
I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
After a big run, you shouldn't have it because I feel like this was the first year we came into the season. We really didn't have that much, drama in the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seemed like they were on team hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was all happy and stoked to be there. But I feel like his play calling is kind of causing some tension in our locker room. You seen Devontae Smith when he left the last game saying that I wish we just run the ball. You know what I'm saying? When you got a receiver, your star receiver understanding the value of running the ball for a
Mm-hmm.
team, you know what I'm saying? That got to make you think. You heard Lotta was also saying something about it. He was like, man, I was just tired from all this
Yes.
backpedaling, moving around. I wish we would just settle in and do some normal plays there. We got Lane Johnson back though this week,
Yes.
so that should be a plus. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I know. Shout out to Lane Johnson and the issues that he's been dealing with.
Yeah.
I wish nothing but the best for him, but I am definitely glad you're back, buddy. So, do
Yeah.
you think that's going to make a big improvement for our line, having Lane back on that right side and moving Mailata back to his position we paid him for?
Yes. I don't think Surprisingly, while he was gone, they looked terrible. I don't think they looked like completely out of whack, especially for the makeshift offensive line that was kind of thrown together. But I mean, he's Lane Johnson, so of course we want to see him back because we know that he's an experienced player.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like you have to be when it comes to like the um Mylata Dillard situation is kind of I don't know where it stands because you have to be able to like I think you should be able to be flexible. Like you should be able to move around if you're like a professional, you know. You might have
Yeah.
to be used in different areas. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's about Diller. He does not play anything but left tackle. That's it. Like that's the only
Yeah.
thing he plays. Mylala can move around, but Diller's just like a one position guy. Like for me,
Which is a no. That's no.
yeah, we might as well trade him.
Yeah,
That's how I
okay. I
feel.
like that.
Let's trade Diller because we got Drac Driscoll playing right
Mhm.
guard right now, which he does a good job. He is our best lineman outside of the starters, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
they know him and Herbert got some PT last year. They didn't play very good last year, but they came into this year. Like you said, they've looked a lot better this year, playing because they got the time in. They did the work in the offseason to, get better at their craft. But I always seen Driscoll at the tackle anyway. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I see him at that guard, but I still rather have Herbert there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even though because he got more of a guard body type,
Okay. Okay.
to have him play there and then let Driscoll be that swing tackle from both sides. Because what are you doing with Dillard, man?
Yeah.
One position guy. You can't just play one, but this is the NFL, my guy. You're getting paid to play lineman. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be able to play both sides, and you don't necessarily have to play a guard spot, but at least be able to play both sides right and left, in case
Mhm.
we get stuck, Lane Johnson get hurt again or, anything that happens with our tackle situation. Cause I didn't like the fact that we moved Mylata over there. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I was like, man, leave him over
This is
there
where
on the
he's
left side.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
let Drac play right and let
Yep.
Herbert play guard. You know what I'm saying? Because Dickerson is just like you had your chance to shine and you didn't take advantage of the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And since you're not multiple, you got to give those guys that are multiple a chance to
Mhm.
make some, make their money, in the game. So, I
Mhm.
think Lane being back definitely should help out our offense a lot.
I think
You
so.
know what I'm saying? I feel like he probably has some frustration. He wants to get out there, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, on the field. So hopefully he get out there and does it. But I also want to see, maybe even switch in some Herbert there at the guard spot because
Okay.
Driscoll is good. Don't get me wrong. If he can continue playing at a high level, then leave him there. But I also think give Herbert a shot there too. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think Herbert and Driscoll's probably going to be the future of our right side of our line.
Yeah, so might as well get them, the reps. But at least we know that Hertz is is comfortable when it comes to Lane Johnson. Like we know that he's going to be confident in the pocket. So that is like a plus. Like you said, it's going to be nice to have him back.
Yeah, man. So we got this next matchup with the Raiders.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched any of the Raiders games? Have you seen their team? How do you take? What's your outlook on the Raiders team this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy everything that they've been going through with like the coaching staff, but
Yeah.
I thought it was impressive seeing like this bounce back game that they just had that against the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool getting to see Derek Carr like showing like his leadership ability, showing like the ability to um push through in the midst of like all of the craziness and all of the adversity that they were going through as a team. So that was really nice to see. And we were talking about it on the QB Factory reboot, the show that I have with Mark Schofield, and we know Ruggs is going to be a player to be on the lookout for. Like that's definitely a threat. And Crosby is definitely a threat. Somebody who I'm concerned about going into this game. So I think this is a pretty decent team. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know how the Eagles are gonna do against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of them games where like in the beginning of the season you knew that, like that's the game we're gonna win for sure. But the way they've been playing, it's like, oh man, now they have a winning record. Now it's a
Yeah.
little different story. But I think, with them loss of their coach, I want to find out it was last week kind of like, one of them games where it's like, okay, we're playing for our team, our team pride, we lost our head
Yeah.
coach. How teams get a little bit more motivated, for that,
Yeah.
when it's
So you're
bad.
already defeated. It's already like, you're rolled out already because of the circumstances. So seeing
Yeah.
them be able to win, I think made it even better for them. Like it was more important of a win for them because of everything that was going on.
Yeah, so I want to see if they're going to come back in this week, and play that, a hard game like they is. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side.
No.
But of course, I got my birds winning this, but we definitely
Yeah.
get to that part. We definitely get to that part. What do you think are three keys to victory for this game?
I think a lot of them are like keys from previous games as well. Running the ball, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Minimizing penalties. And another one, stopping the run could be one because we
Mm-hmm.
know that they have some weapons on their offense, and then also putting pressure on Derek Carr. I think in a lot of the previous games, like the Eagles kind of lost the game. Like they could have won it. They
Yeah,
had there was a possibility for them to to really like fight back and pull it off, and they didn't. So I feel like sometimes they're losing the game. It's not really like they're getting whooped or they're getting, defeated. So minimizing penalties, running the ball, putting pressure on Carr, and stopping
yeah.
the run defense, something that we haven't really been doing too much.
Yeah, and those are the biggest three things right there you just said to me. Like if we did those three games in the last couple of games, I feel like we could be 5-1 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Easily 5-1. Like you said, we've been shooting ourselves in the foot over and over
Yeah.
and over. Like these teams aren't beating us. The only game I'll say for sure that they beat us was the Cowboy game.
Yes.
I hate
Yes.
saying it 'cause I hate the Cowboys, but I
And that's
hate
why I
saying it.
said the Bucks, the Chiefs are
Mhm.
good teams. So the fact that it wasn't like a blowout, that tells you something, you know?
Yeah, I think all we need to do is, like I said, just run the rock, Nick. Please,
Yeah.
my guy, just run that rock. And I think you definitely see a lot of these flaws, even time possession wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't keep giving guys like Mahomes and Brady all these
Yeah.
extra
No.
snaps to go out there and score touchdowns on because they're going to score them.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if Nick Sirianni been watching the NFL, but those guys score lots of touchdowns very often. So he definitely need to check out his coaching techniques moving forward. But we are 2-4,
Mhm.
and I think the wild card right now is 3-3. So we're
Okay.
only one game out, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, in terms of like playoff contention right now, what I'm
Hmm.
saying. So I really think we do have a shot to, push. Like AFC is stacked with really good teams, but in terms of the NFC, you're looking at the top being very top heavy, and the top teams, the elite teams up there in the NFC. But after that, it kind of drops down where everybody's kind of 3-3. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Moving on. So, like, do you think the Eagles can make a change, and make a push for this playoff run?
I mean, I think anything is possible. I'm definitely that person. Like, I feel like if they really make these changes they need to make, and it's a complete 360, anything is possible. And I believe that can happen, but that requires Jalen Hurts to, make smarter decisions. That requires him to be better than he's been. That requires Nick Sirianni to make better decisions and put his team in the best position to succeed, regardless of, what that means or what area that's in. So
Mhm.
I think anything is possible.
I
Yeah.
had a question too. Do you think Quez Watkins should start over
Yes.
Rager?
And I've been very vocal about this during the games. I'm always tweeting out, like, we want more of him. So
Mhm.
the fact that he hasn't been like, no, I'm not gonna say that. The fact that we haven't seen him, because I was gonna say he could arguably like be wide receiver one,
That's what I was been saying.
arguably.
I've been,
But I
no,
want to
not
see
arguably.
Devontae
It's a
Smith,
fact.
turn up.
He's the
We need to
only
see
one
more.
putting out the effort that shows that you need for a number one receiver. And it's not no slight to, the Slim Reaper. I love him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But he's more polished, like the Slim Reaper's a rookie. You can tell he's still learning things about the NFL that I think Quez learned last year. You
he's a
know,
unique player.
yes, and
But
his speed and his talent. If you watch every play, when the last time you seen a receiver jump over another DB
yes,
to take the ball for a reception? Like we don't
that's
see
that
that very
grit, that's that
often.
hunger. We want to see it.
Yeah, we want to see this. I'm glad you said something about it because I've been
I
saying it
like
on my
him
show
a lot, like
for
a
a
lot.
long time. I
At
probably
least
made
we
like
all
4
saw
or
that
5
preseason.
Quez Walking videos. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
Quez, when everybody thought he was gonna be like not making the team, to everybody thought he was gonna make the team, but that'll be it. And I was like, every time I was like, can Quez be number one? You
he
know?
looks good, like really
Yeah,
good. We just want to see more,
yeah, we
and I
got
think that's
definitely get
across
him
the
more.
board. We want to see more.
Quez Watkins, man. I'm so happy that you agree with me. Man. I finally got someone on here like, yes. Everybody else like, maybe we gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. this guy needs more targets.
Yeah.
Force feed Devontae Smith. I think that's
Right.
good because he's a good player, but at the same time, it's bad because everybody knows we force feed him. You know what I'm saying? Like if everybody didn't know we force feed them, then maybe it'll work out a little bit better. But Quest he's been open a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a lot of time.
He's that
And
guy.
and the RPO doesn't help either,
Yeah.
having Jalen think so much. You know what I'm saying? I know he's a quarterback. He's in the NFL now. He needs to use his brain. But at the same time, don't make him think so much on every single play. Have him play design ready so he can just hike the ball. Okay, check that 1, 2, 3.
He was a
Without all
break.
the play action and all this, running around. Should I run the ball? Should I not run the ball? You know what I'm saying? Should I give him the ball? All this extra stuff. Like, to me, it's just confusing for the guy, like have some normal handoff where he's like, this is a run play, Jalen. So now you hike the ball, give it to Miles Sanders, let him do his thing,
I agree.
This is a pass play. We're not just going to line you up in shotgun and do this college, Pop Warner offense that we're running. We're going to actually give you some plays that play design, motion some people around, and, get some guys open for you to throw the ball to. Because even with all this, and we know that Jalen needs to get better, he still has one of the best first 9 games of any, quarterback ever to play the game. So it's like, you got to give him his props where it's due. Yes, does he need to get better? Yes. Does his accuracy need to get better? Yes, totally. You know what I'm saying? Deep ball accuracy can get better. But I always tell people it's the rush from, having a makeshift offensive line plus having to play action. By the time he gets around there to throw the ball, why you think he's only making it to his first read? Because he got people down dead on his tail. He's running for his life.
Yes,
Most
yes.
of the time, you know what I'm saying?
And they can keep
get the
up.
ball
We're
off.
in the
You're lucky he
NFL.
made it.
Yeah.
You're lucky he made it to that first read. Because half the time, the other quarterbacks that wouldn't be as mobile probably wouldn't even make it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg is here to say, do you have a score position prediction for this next game coming up against the Raiders?
I gotta be positive. I want the Eagles to win, so I'll say 21-18-ish. I'll go with that.
21-18-ish. I like the ish.
Yeah. I gotta be positive.
Right? That's good.
Yes.
Hey, shout out to the 20 in the chat. Please hit that like button for me and subscribe to both of our channels if you have not subscribed to them. I got all links inside of the chat and inside of the description. Help everybody grow. Rachel put in some good work over there, with the BGM radio, and she also got her own channel. I think I added your own channel on there. What do you do on your own channel there by yourself?
I haven't been as active on my own channel. I was doing a lot more like just freelance content. I haven't really been doing it as much since we're doing so much with BGN Radio. But you can always subscribe to the BGN Radio YouTube channel. We put out like all of our videos, our instant reaction videos on there. Seamus Clancy does a lot of his live streams on there. So we're putting constant content on the BGN Radio YouTube channel. So subscribe to that.
Nice. I know we got that one in there, but I also think I added the other one in there.
Yeah, I'm not really active on my personal YouTube channel. I mean, you're more than welcome to browse, but it's not like a constant. I'm not constantly uploading stuff on there anymore.
Okay. Well, I know you said, we're short on time here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What I like to do is have your all-time Eagles team. We like to get everybody's opinion. It's your team, so don't listen to anybody in the chat because they will be talking. And what I'm saying, don't worry about records and things like that. This is your team, your favorite Eagle players. Yeah. So we'll start out with the quarterbacks. Give me your favorite Eagles quarterback of all time, and who would be backing them up?
I think this is funny because I was telling you before we even started that like I actually did this when I got back when I got hired. I put together like a roster, so I was like, oh, I have my list ready. But quarterback, I have Donovan McNabb for sure.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Do you have a backup for him?
Nick Foles. I mean, he won the Super Bowl, so might as well give it to him.
Okay. Give me 3 running backs.
Brian Westbrook, LaShawn McCoy, and I had Deuce Staley.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Were you on the Deuce train for coach or not?
I actually was. And we were all talking about this in one of the National Association Black Journalists Sports Task Force chats. Like we were talking about it, like why he should be, a candidate. So,
Hey, he might get a chance again if Nick doesn't get his act together,
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me 2 tight ends.
Zach Ertz for sure. Gotta give it to him. And this one I was kind of like, I had Keith Jackson on there. I'll go with him. I'll just go with him. Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Jackson was a beast. But Sally could have worked, Chad Lewis
Yeah.
could have worked. Those are some good tight ends too. But I really like Keith Jackson too. Give me
Mhm.
4 receivers.
T.O. for sure.
Ooh.
I had Harold Carmichael.
Mm-hmm.
He has definitely, like, he's the legend in the franchise, so I had to have him. Deshaun Jackson, and I put down Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah, Mac Dog in the house.
Even
I
yeah,
love them. I love that. Those two together was a really good combination. That's why I'm hoping Quez and Devontae could be the Jeremy Mac,
yes,
Deshaun
it's too
Jackson.
early, but hopefully
Soon.
it's too soon. I saw Mike Quick too, but I had that on here, but I didn't choose that one. So
it's all good. It's your team. It's her team. Okay. Give me a starting off with the line.
Kelsey.
Okay.
And then you gotta have Trey Thomas and Runyon for sure.
Okay.
Jason Peters, and I also have Brandon Brooks down.
Nice. That's a good line there. I like that one. Give me your defensive line.
I have Fletcher Cox, even though he's not really performing where he should be. BG.
Yep.
Sadly, he's out. I'm hoping that Javon Hargrave, if he continues performing, that he is the way, performing that the way he has been, he might be able to work his way up there. Reggie White.
Yep.
And I'll go Trent Cole.
Oh, yeah, Trent Cole, man. I love Trent Cole. That was definitely a good one. Give me 3 linebackers.
Linebackers, I had Trotter.
Yeah, the X-Men.
Joyner, and William Thomas.
Nice. Green Talon asked before, how long have you been an Eagles fan?
I don't even know if I should disclose that because y'all are some diehard fans. Let's just say that. I'll tell you that I was born and raised in Maryland, so that's what I'll tell you. So
all her life, that's what she means to say. All her life, Green Talon. So don't worry about it. She is with the Birds. And she's with the
yes. Go Birds! Go Birds!
Go Birds! Give me 3 cornerbacks.
Cornerbacks. I had Asante Samuel, Eric Allen, and Troy Vincent.
Ooh, that's nice. 3 safeties.
Dawkins for sure. Shout out. We had him on VGN Radio. We interviewed him, so y'all should go check out that interview.
It's so hard to get Doc on the show, man.
Yeah, Seamus.
Corey Simon came on the show. I had Bob
nice.
Show.
Okay.
I got both of them too, but the rest of these Eagles, man, I've been trying. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them.
Seamus, shout out to Seamus because I don't know how he got him, but he got him, and that was like a huge deal for us. So, Dawkins, Malcolm Jenkins, and Andre Waters.
Waters, yes. Him and Michael Lewis are 2 safeties. I'd be always waiting to hear their names on the list because everybody knows talking.
Yeah.
Those guys kind of.
I mean, he was definitely like the heart and soul, so you got to have him on there.
Who was your favorite kicker?
I have Akers.
Yeah. And punter?
This one I just went with Sipos.
Sipos! Yes, he finally and I love Sipos, man. I think he is the MVP of our team right now. I like the way he's been kicking that ball out there. So yeah, that's a good pick right there. I liked it. Who would be your defensive coordinator of this team?
Defensive coordinator. I'm gonna go with this person because when I was looking in, like, he contributed to developing a lot of like these players, like Brian Dawkins. So I'm gonna say Jim Johnson.
Yeah,
Brian Dawkins is really vocal about like how he really like enhanced his career. So I'll give credit to him.
Yeah, that defense was amazing with Jim Johnson, man. I've been praying for us to get a defense like that again.
Yeah.
Who will be your offensive coordinator?
Not. That's probably the hardest one.
If you want to use an offensive coordinator that is the head coach too, I'll let you slide with that, and you can put them all in front. So who will be your Eagles head coach / offensive coordinator? Because we've had a lot of those ones.
Well, my head coach was Big Red.
Who?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Oh, Big Red. Yep.
Okay. Even though credit Doug Peterson for the Super Bowl, I would go with Andy Reid.
You gotta give Andy the nod. You know, he
Yeah.
didn't win the ring, but
Yeah.
won a lot of games for us in
Yes.
Philadelphia. And Dougie P didn't last very long. So
Yeah.
yes, I give you the love and the championship, but you didn't stick around. You got too big headed and
Yeah.
that boy. So
Yeah.
we let that slide, Dougie P.
Yeah.
Got out for the ring, but Big Red's our coach, Big Red's
Yeah.
our coach, you know what I'm saying? Well,
For
hey
sure.
man, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been a blast, you know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Go ahead and let everybody know one last time all the platforms they can reach you on.
Yes. So, like I mentioned, I work audio content and social for BGN Radio. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow BGN Nation, like Bleeding Green Nation, the separate Twitter account as well, run by Brandon Lee Gouton, and personal socials at Raichele Monique on both Twitter and Instagram.
Nice. And hey, shout out to the 20 still in the chat. Please make sure you hit that like on the way out. Much love for supporting the nation. We are growing. You know what I'm saying? We do got channel memberships up, and we also do have super chats up. Also, the store's up. The store, the Burgay Nation Sports Talk store, is available if you guys want to purchase any merchandise for us. Also, we just started the all NFL network, Burgay Nation Sports Media. It was an Eagles network, but we decided to expand it to all NFL. So you guys go ahead and give us a subscribe and check that one out as well. Thank you again for coming on the show. Like I always say at the end of my videos is fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this was Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31, and we are out. Peace.